breasties, thank you so much for clicking my channel. My name is Ciara LaShawn and I am your breastfeeding advocate, your friend, and here to help you learn all things breastfeeding. So today we're talking about why is my baby pulling at my nipples or pulling at my boobs, scratching me, moving, all of that, right? Like, do you ever have that? Or is it just me? I might be the only one with monster baby. Am I the only one with monster baby? All right, also featured today is Princess Avia, but she's on the boob right now. You okay? You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? Say hi. Avia didn't get her hair done yet. She didn't get her hair done yet. So a little birdie told me that this is a question that people have been wondering, why is the baby grabbing and pulling at my breast? And a lot of times people confuse this with low milk supply. I'm just gonna call it like it is. So if your baby is grabbing and pulling your nipples or your chest, that does not mean you have low milk supply. At least not forever. Maybe today. Maybe your milk supply is a little low today and they're a little hangry and that's why they're pulling. But I don't want you to stop breastfeeding because the baby's pulling, and I don't want you to feel insecure because the baby's pulling. Here are some of the top reasons of why your baby is pulling and grabbing at your breast and your nipples. All right, so one of the reasons could be your supply or your milk just is low or slow or fast. So you could have a fast or slow letdown, and that could be really frustrating for your baby. This is also shown a lot more in the evening rather than the daytime, okay, because your milk is a lot lower during the evening. I am probably at my milkiest early in the morning because like my baby's been asleep, my daughter's been asleep. Now she's 2, but or she's not 2 yet. Time goes by so fast. I need to stop rushing it. She's 1.5 and she might breastfeed a little bit overnight, but really I feel like when I wake up in the morning, that's when my breasts are really full because I've had the most hours of her not breastfeeding. However, when we get to the end of the day, you notice your milk just doesn't seem like you have as much. One of the ways to kind of combat this, whether it's an evening problem or whether you're just like my milk supply is coming in too slow or it's coming in too fast, one of my suggestions would be that you pump before you place the baby on the breast. That way it stimulates your milk flow. All right, it gets your milk flowing. Also, if you know you have a fast or heavy letdown, pump a little bit of that milk out, okay? And you usually can tell because your breasts hurt, they're like solid, you know you got a lot of milk in there, right? And you can also sometimes feel like a tingling sensation, like, you know, that letdown sensation. If you feel that, maybe pump a little bit so that you don't have you don't drown your baby. Not literally drown. That way your baby won't be overwhelmed with a lot of milk and they'll be satisfied and you won't be in pain from all the pulling. Now, if you don't have fast letdown, if you have slow letdown, do the same thing, pump a little bit, because that'll also stimulate your breast to start producing more milk. So what I notice is that Avia often pulls or stretches my breastises when she is distracted. When she is watching something on TV, when she hears something, she'll like pull and like look around, look away. And maybe your baby is doing the same thing. Hey, Avia, watch your show. I have a show playing on my phone in my lap so she can let me do this. Stay at home, work from home problems. Stay at home mom problems. Okay, but I love her. She's the best problem to have. If your baby is distracted, they're likely going to be pulling at your nipples because they're just trying to see what's going on around them. So one way to combat this is to limit distractions. Now some people, and I'm not saying like that you should smother your baby, but sometimes having a blanket when you breastfeed, and I'm not saying to do this to cover yourself because I'm the first person who is all for breastfeeding out in public. Okay, I breastfeed in public, I breastfeed in church, it's natural. But I do suggest you maybe keeping a blanket, that way when you're out in public and your baby's like pulling, looking around, or when you're at home, you have a blanket to kind of cover over their face just a little bit. That way they're not as distracted and they can focus. Another way to do it is to just go into a quiet room. If you're at home, go into your bedroom, maybe turn the TV off and nurse that way. Or sometimes when I nurse, like I'll lift my arm up a little bit like around her eyes or whatever, so that way she's not able to kind of look the other way. I wish I could demonstrate for you guys, but that way she can look, she doesn't look over my arm, if that makes sense. So another reason why a baby might pull on your breast or get a little antsy, move around with pull their mouth, pull their hands, is because they're gassy. They have something in their stomach is acting production up, they gotta let it out somehow, and they're frustrated and they're uncomfortable. And one way for you to prevent this, so you're not uncomfortable and they're not uncomfortable, is by burping them. This is often more so a little baby, but babies get gas. Burp them, help them pass that gas so that you both are more comfortable. Babies are master milkers, okay? They know, like, okay, I'm not trying to be weird, but like, have you ever milked a cow? Like, you know, there's a way for you to do it to stimulate the milk. Your babies know how to stimulate milk, okay? Our babies, they're not dumb, they're smart. They know how to stimulate milk. They got the grip and everything. So here's the thing. They want to stimulate milk sometimes, and sometimes it's painful for us, but what they're doing is just making sure that they're activating the, you know, pulling at the right glands or whatever. They know how to get that milk out. And like, it's not that they're not getting milk out, but they're trying to like really control your milk production and control the milk supply, control the way that the milk is coming down. They're just working their little fingers to get it to come out how they want it to come out. Just as if we were milking a cow. Sorry, your baby's milking you. I don't know if that's weird or inappropriate to say, but your baby is trying to stimulate your breast to get that milk out because they know how to do it. Now, some of us, this is for little babies, this is for big toddlers like Avia. They could be teething. Your baby could be teething. When Avia's teething, she does a lot more pulling as well. Her gums are hurting, her mouth is hurting. And you know, you have to remember that sometimes babies aren't just nursing for the nutrients, right? For the nutritious benefits. Sometimes they're also just nursing for comfort or to relax and to just release any type of pain or anxiety or frustration. And unfortunately, our breasts are collateral damage because they provide all of those good things to our babies who are stressed out and teething. So one way to help with that is to just make sure you numb the baby's teeth. I don't know if you should numb their teeth and put them on the boob. That might hurt you. It might make your boobs numb. I feel like that's happened to me before. I don't know. Another reason why your child might be pulling at your boob, just like teething, you know, this is a change in your baby's body. Another change in your baby's body could just be the growth spurt that they're experiencing. They're growing, and so they're going to be pulling more. They're more uncomfortable. And again, they're not nursing and pulling at you to get the nutrients. They're nursing and pulling at you because they're trying to find that comfort. They're trying to relax. It's like when your stomach hurts really bad and you squeeze a pillow. You're the pillow. Your breast is a pillow. It's like when you yourself are like, your stomach is hurting so bad that you like grab a pillow and you hold on to it because you're trying to just find comfort somehow, release any pain. That's also what your baby's sometimes doing when they're nursing. So it hurts, it's painful, but for them, they're just trying to push through their own pain as well. So that could be just a growth spurt. It does not mean, again, have you heard me say that it's because you have low milk supply forever? No. But it's just a natural part of breastfeeding, so don't think that you're abnormal if that happens to you. Another more serious reason for why your baby may be pulling at your breasts or nipples is because they could have something called thrush, which is basically like a yeast infection in their mouth. So check for their tongue to see if they have really thick white almost paste on their tongue, and if they do, contact your doctor because this could be thrush. Now if it's like milk, like you can wipe it off. If you suspect that it's thrush, contact your doctor because that can be really irritating to them, and that's probably why they're pulling at your breast a lot. But it's also a more serious problem for them because they have this infection in their mouth. Lastly, a reason why your baby could be pulling at your breast is because it could just be a change in your breast milk for several different reasons. Could be something you ate, could be your period, or you could be pregnant. Don't rule out the pregnancy possibility unless you know that it's not a possibility, but that can change the just way your breast milk tastes. Of all of these reasons, my number one tip to you, and something I've had to learn, when baby is pulling at your breast, if none of these tips work, listen to me. Hold your breast and help your baby release your boob. Do not let them keep pulling at you because that's painful. Hold it so that when they do release, it's not as painful, okay? So I encourage you, stick your finger right underneath your boob, right where they're sucking at, and you can help them release so that they're not biting you when they release and not pulling at you when they release. Hold your boob so that it's not as vicious. And like I say in all of my videos, I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor. So I don't want you to take my word as medical advice. This is just stuff that I've researched, stuff that I've experienced. That's all I love to talk about here. It's like having a conversation with your friend. Your friend's not a doctor. I mean, unless they are. So don't take everything I say and say, oh, that's medical advice, because it's not. But here's the thing. If your baby is consistently pulling at you for like more than a week and you've tried all these tips, you've tried everything, make sure you consult a doctor or a lactation consultant, because if you could have a more serious problem going on, like an ear infection or any type of infection that they have that you cannot see. So make sure that you, or a virus, something like a stomach virus. So make sure that you contact your doctor if this is like, if they're acting abnormally, if this is abnormal behavior at your breast, if this is taking longer, like everything you've done. Yes, it's one thing for them to be gassy in a moment, but for them to be gassy every single day this week, that might cause for alarm, right? There's really no way to fully know without consulting your doctor. So I would just suggest you to consult your doctor if you notice that they're having long-term consistent breastfeeding issues where they're pulling at you, biting you, scratching you. There could be something else going on in their bodies that we can't see that's causing extreme discomfort, okay? Thank you so much for watching my channel. If you know any other reasons why your baby pulls at you, does your baby pull at you, let me know in the comment section below. Let's be there for each other. If you have questions, find your answers in the comments, because this community is all about helping each other grow, helping each other learn, and we're all great moms. We're all wonderful moms. I'm so glad that you came by today. I'll see you guys later.